Matthew and I found some common ground, and that common ground was a hedge. Blackbird. Noon sun meets out justice for some offence. Beneath, smashed brake-light rubies fascinate. The caterpillar glints. A horse chestnut attempts to stroke the air, but her hand is dismissed. I am a thought passing across tarmac's unchanging oven of a mind. A small flaw which moves through the broken bottle's green brilliance. Light goes into the head, where it dies, and leaves behind my eyes' blind bead, which now drops from the hedge and rolls away across the field. In the beginning was the word, but who was there to listen to all that gabble? I leaned in, mustered my invisible form, and became an ear, black like the centre of a pansy. In darkness, I hung on the line. Then, the others scattering upon the gravelly waste, a single pip of sound arrived in my soul's soft loam. Light, I replied. Light, light! I was an ember thrown into a pot. I put the dark to flight, and a handful of gold grains extends as if in payment.
Great grey shrike. You'll find me only in the cruelest winters, and even then less and less. Better try old paintings of fur and feather, conversation pieces in murky oils, from when all the world was an orchard, replete and strange with forms and shadow. There I am, perched among the thorns of the 17th century. Quite ornate, dainty even, my slate jacket and masquerade mask, something a songbird might wear. My beak is not a songbird's beak, however, a black hook. I'd use it on the trusting and simple folk I'd mimic sweetly, inviting them to me through the bramble thicks on the trail of their own songs. Linnet, yellowhammer, robin. I'd leave them strifed across the thorns as a feudal lord might spike the heads of recalcitrant peasants. Butcher bird, I'm a warning to anyone who trusted in this world.
Wren. I said to the missus, I said, death comes to me yesterday in the form of a dirty great hawk. With his imps, I said, lurking like a sly bastard. Gobshite, he calls me. Troglodyte, he says. Pagan, he says. I'll pluck your last feather. I'll wither those knees. I'll command that fat yellow mouth to be dust. I'll leave you nothing but your skriking, he says. And I said to the missus, I said, oi, cloth ears, I'll have none of your namby-pamby arseache. Pluck these feathers, wizen these legs, I'll chuck you the beak myself. I am the bladder that's left. You can't conquer me, pal, I said. My kind have inherited the earth.
Song thrush. The fork of a twig at the top of the tree, the highest part. I sit there and discourse on all the intrigues of this world of blackthorn, hazel and ash. For a mile, I think, my voice carries my views on this year's fledglings, ravenous, the rookery, might-ridden, and the punch-drunk hares, dotty, eyeballing from the hedge. Most days at first light, there's another voice repeating mine from the next field. Nested inside that song is another, and another, and another, until the whole acreage contains versions of myself. There's a vertigo in this multiplying chorus, where none of us birds can tell the original from the plagiarist, I try to defeat it by singing even louder. From my yellow throat, I insist on the singular. I'm the bird you can hear, the song thrush you remember, the original, not the plagiarist, little earl of all this mist.
Dark. A lost ring rolls, middle folk in notches and holes like snails. A sunbeam slips beneath the soil to keep its belly cool, and I, temperate, brown, almost a spider, snip the just disappearing tail. Creaks above, below stones. I squat like a truffle by a root to observe a white whisker left by a cat, and the tiny hand that grasps it, glistening like a worm. Tunefully, the air beckons.